I couldn't agree with you more, Chris, especially you talking about the oil and gas just now. I mean, it's been huge. I mean, the oil and gas guys, obviously, that depend on this. They've got the double whammy. The farmers got it as well. The farmers have recently got some help with the president and Secretary of Agriculture announcing a few days ago that they're going to dump $19 billion into agriculture, and specifically for farmers and ranchers. So that'll help a little bit. We need to help out the oil and gas folks a little more, I think. I was talking to some of the big producers last week and asking about this, and I mean, there's just no real good answer right now because demand is way, way, way down, and it's going to continue to be down until we get the economy back up and running and people start driving and moving stuff around and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And of course, supply is still been a problem. We have way more supply than we need right now too, and that was initially kicked off by this trade war that developed between Russia and the Saudis. And they seem to have got that worked out right now, but we still have overwhelming supply. So there's really no place to put it. I talked to them about refining. I was like, is there a way that we can preferentially refine stuff that's done here in the United States and cut off some of the refining capability to some of the countries outside the United States? But apparently that's not an answer either, because some of these refineries, they're not dual use. If they refine the type of crude that we get from Saudi Arabia, they can't do what we get here in West Texas and vice versa. And the refineries out in the West Coast and the refineries in the Gulf Coast and the refineries on the East Coast all have a different oil that they can refine. So it's not a quick answer either. Plus, once they refine it, they don't have any place to put it either. So I think we got to get the economy back up and running, number one, first and foremost, and then any financial support that the government decides to push the way of oil and gas, I think will be huge for oil and gas. But there are a lot of people hurting out there right now, and I think that I've been saying this for a long time. We got to get our economy back up and running. We've looked at this, and I've been saying all along, from the very beginning, I've been saying two things. One, the denominator in this thing is going to be huge, and the mortality rate is going to be much lower than we think. Number two, this is going to be seasonal. When the weather warms up here in late spring, early summer, this is going to start burning itself out, and it's going to start going away. I'm a firm believer that's going to happen. I think indicators are that that's starting to happen. With that said, I think it's time to really be aggressive about getting back to work, in my opinion. And I think the president did the right thing. The federal government did the right thing. Governor Abbott did the right thing. Initially, they kind of shut things down. They had a really aggressive approach to this. The president shut down the travel from China and then from Europe and our southern and our northern borders. They reduced travel there to try to really lock this down, which was totally the appropriate thing to do at the time because we didn't know anything about this virus. Nothing. I mean, this is a novel virus. We didn't know what the infection rate was. We didn't know what the mortality rate was. We had no idea what it was going to do to our country. Now we have some information, right? And we let the medical folks basically drive the train up into this point, which was appropriate because we didn't know anything about it. It was a medical issue. But we had preventive medicine and epidemiologists and infectious disease folks that were really like coming in and telling us exactly what we needed to do. The president and his team took their advice. So did most of the other folks all over the United States and really locked things down. My point is, now we have more information about this virus. We know some stuff about it. Now, we still don't have a vaccine for it. We still don't know for sure which meds will and won't work, but we got some really promising ones in the hopper right now. But what we do know is that the mortality is going to be a lot lower than we thought.